Oh, I'm telling them if they can do it now, they should, because the rates are something like you just said that can be traded in later. But it's always about competition and what's available and what you're facing.
So when we were talking before we went on air, you were mentioning that your area, which I guess we should talk, is you're the coastal Orange County. Is that a good description?
Yeah, that's right.
That there's more building going on.
There is. There's a lot of construction going on, specifically in Costa Mesa. And a lot of that construction is not necessarily homes for resale. A lot of it is apartments and retail and all of that. We're seeing that in Huntington Beach as well as Newport. And that is attracting more people to our area.
That's kind of interesting. So if it's commercial,
Mm.
what is that? How does that affect the residential market or living conditions or whatnot?
Well, just by virtue of having more housing available and commercial available, it's attracting more people here. So when we're in a market that does have a housing shortage and we're adding in more like short-term housing where it's apartment style and all of that, then there is like a draw for people that want to live here, but they can't necessarily buy here. And then they're in that cycle of renting.
So we want to try and avoid the renting cycle, but sometimes the coastal area, it's expensive, but a lot of us commute to that area just because. So having all that new commercial is going to be great. Maybe a little more congestion, but the new commercial is wonderful.
Yeah, I think the commercial is certainly going to be a draw. And for a lot of people that are just looking to the area, and like you said, they can't necessarily afford to buy here, there's going to be enticement for them to live here because they'll have those options as far as apartment housing goes.
So construction is mostly an apartment and multifamily? Is that it?
For the most part, there's not a lot of land left to build on. So there are some infill developments where they're taking the older houses that have larger parcels and then they're dividing those up into smaller lots and selling those off. We still do see some of that, but it's not as prevalent. There's not as many options for that.
Yeah, that the whole idea of that is, I think that a lot of the communities get upset